Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I
Okay,
can.
great. Thanks, Strago. So how's everybody this morning?
Good question. Um,
I hope you're doing well.
it's eight
Hello,
o'clock.
Betty.
It's 8 o'clock in Montana.
Well, it's 7 o'clock here in California.
Oh, you're the on that side this time. Okay,
Yeah. That we decided to have the meeting a little earlier because of the vision event.
got it.
So I don't know if this is a better time for everyone, instead of having it in the afternoon Eastern time, trying to get a handle. So how's it working out for the group here? Is this a better time?
It's a good time for me. Yes.
Yeah. It's a good time
Okay.
for me, Eastern Standard.
Yeah. Okay. So 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
9 o'clock Central.
Right.
That's not too bad. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Doc.
And hi, Marissa.
Hello.
Thanks for joining. And Trago's here. Betty, the
Yep.
rest of the people, if you could put your video camera on, that would be nice. Not necessary, but it's nice to see a face. I can find out who's sleeping and who's doing
Ah,
Right.
and who's in the kitchen doing dishes or whatever. I think Ben is you're trying to log on, I guess. Okay, now you're on. Hi, Ben.
are you in Africa?
No, right now I'm in California.
Okay.
Gotten a lot of bad weather in California. Well, I'm in near Santa Cruz and a lot of rain, but up in the mountains, there was 10 feet of snow yesterday. They closed Interstate 80, 10 feet of snow.
Wow.
Big dump. But I'll be hitting to Africa next month, going to Togo, Africa, which is one of my favorite African countries. The people there are wonderful. And that's with site.org, SIGHT.org. Okay, so let's open it up for questions. Thank you all for joining. So anybody have questions?
I do. Can you hear me? This is
Marie. Yeah.
Marie
Hi,
Pop.
Marie. How are you?
Hi, Dr. Kondrot. I'm fine, thank you. With respect to the light therapy, what specific impact does that have on both macular and glaucoma? Does it specifically target that, or is it more of a systemic or neurological general shift that's been looked at?
Good question. Now, if you would ask your eye doctor, can light therapy help my glaucoma? He would probably laugh at you.
Uh-huh.
But in 1948, in the American Journal of Ophthalmology, which is a peer-reviewed, prestigious journal, there were 2 articles published on the benefits of light therapy in glaucoma, published by some Russian investigators.
Huh.
Also, there's been numerous studies showing the effect of light in terms of macular degeneration.
Huh. Okay.
So the light therapy has a direct effect on the retina, and it also has an effect on your autonomic nervous system. I believe that in order for the body to heal, your autonomic nervous system needs to be in balance. If you're in a stress state, your body will not heal. Certain physiological things take place. Your digestive process is slow, your pupils dilate, your blood pressure goes up, your breathing increases, and the healing aspects of your body will be slow or even stop. So if you're in a stress state, your body will not heal. So the light therapy helps to balance that. The other thing I like to talk about is plants, as you know, need sunlight. Without sunlight, all plants would die. There's something called chlorophyll in a plant that absorbs the ultraviolet light and converts it into energy. Well, in our body, we have hemoglobin. And if I would show you a hemoglobin molecule and a chlorophyll molecule, you would say, Dr. Kondrot, they're identical. They're almost identical except for one element. Chlorophyll has magnesium in the center, and hemoglobin has an iron molecule, which is phenomenal. So our blood, the hemoglobin absorbs light. So when you look at that syntonic light, there's photons that are actually going into your blood and impregnating the hemoglobin molecule and causing an electrophysiological process. So actually light therapy going into your eye is very, very powerful for balancing the autonomic nervous system and having a direct physiological effect.
So
Could I have an additional comment and question on that, if that's all right?
Yeah.
I tried for a couple times the light therapy. I found my eyes just having a terrible reaction to it. It was making them hurt. And I was wondering if maybe I should revisit what color or whatnot. I'm wondering if sometimes there needs to be an adjustment.
Well, the question I have is the intensity of the light.
It was the one that came with it, the 5
Yeah.
watt.
It should be a 5 watt and you should be sitting. We just want a low intensity. The other thing, you want to make sure that you blink. It's not something you just, keep your eyes open. You have to blink regularly because otherwise, if you don't blink, your eyes will dry.
Wow.
Barring those two things, I was 8 feet away and I tried it, kind of the way it had been suggested. Is it possible that I need to revisit what colors
Yeah, I think definitely we have to revisit that. You shouldn't be having that kind of reaction to it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I just stopped until I thought I'd ask you about
Yeah.
that. Okay,
So
thank
let's
you.
revisit that and we can talk about it.
Okay, thank you.
But the light therapy should have a calming effect. If it's, aggravating you, then something's wrong.
Yeah, that's what I thought. This just doesn't feel right. So, okay.
Anne, did you have a question?
yes, about the light therapy. Can we do it more than once a day?
I prefer you only do it once a day. I mean, you could do it twice a day, but I like just slow and gentle treatment. And twice a day could be overwhelming.
I'm asking because things have been excessively stressful with my husband's health issues. And I find that once I do the light therapy, it's a good calming effect. But I was wondering if I could have done it, later on in the day as well. But
Yeah, definitely. If you find it has a good calming effect, then you could do it twice a day.
okay, thank you.
Hello, Elaine. How are you?
Oh, I'm still kicking, thank you.
Good.
I was interested with a problem with the light therapy also. You have 2 different glasses. Can you use them like morning and night, or do you have to use them together?
Yes, most of you only have one pair of glasses. Some have 2. Those of you that have 2, sometimes we alternate one light one day, one light the second day. Some of you have 2 glasses that you are to use consecutively, one for 5 minutes and one for 10. So I don't know what the instructions were.
I had 10 and 10 on each one, but I didn't know how to take them.
Do you know the color that you were using?
The original was the blue and the green, and the second one is a purple. And there's a big problem with the purple I wanted to ask you about also.
Is
But
the
I wanted to know how to
is it
take them.
epsilon? Is it epsilon omega? The purple one, is it
Oh,
called?
I really didn't look. Yes, I think so. Yes,
No,
that's what
you were
it is.
you're to use the purple first, and then after that, use the mu epsilon.
So do you use them together, one right after the other, or can I
Yes,
take one in the morning and one at night?
No, you would use use the purple for 5 minutes, and immediately when you're done with it, put the other one on.
So if they told me 10 minutes on each one, you would do 5 and 5 or 10 and 10?
No, 10 minutes on the purple and 10 minutes on the
Okay,
blue.
very good. Thank you. And also on the purple, I had something strange happen when I used it, because when I looked at it and I stared at it, I was fine, but I realized it was a pinkish purple. And then when I moved my eyes, I could see that the color changed on the light bulb to a, let's see, I had the pinkish purple, and then it was like a bluish purple. And when I went back to the light bulb direct center, it would go back to this pinkish purple, and the other light didn't do that at all. And both eyes do exactly the same thing. I didn't know
I
if
really
that,
can't explain that. You may have some photochemical reactions during the color therapy, but the important thing is use the purple first and then follow with the blue, because it's quieting your system. It's pushing you one direction and it's quieting you. If you were just doing the purple without the follow-up of that second one, that could have caused some visual disturbances. Nothing that's going to harm your body. It's just not being gentle to you.
I did use them. I used the blue, green and blue first and the purple to follow, but it was.
No, you use the purple first, then the blue-green.
Okay, so that
Not
might.
the blue-green and then a purple. You're going in the wrong direction.
Okay, so that should disappear then into one color, right? After a while.
Well, keep me posted.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have. Appreciate it.
Yeah, but I'm not, I'm more concerned with your mental and emotional state. Is it calming you? Is it relaxing your eyes after you do the therapies? I mean, you may have other visual phenomena, pink, purple and pink, blue and things like that. That is something that may happen, but it should disappear after a couple of minutes. It's like getting your picture taken with a flash. You'll see spots. You may see pink spots after the flash.
No, I don't see any difference in the way I feel when I use the light therapy.
Mm-hmm. Well, continue it.
All right, thank you.
Let's see. I think that's Linda Baldwin there.
Just
Hi,
a short
Linda.
question on the colored glasses. I've had them for years. I never used it with a light bulb. I just used it sitting close to a window with light. Is that still okay? I didn't know about the
Well,
light back here.
some doctors, recommend you could even take them outside with you, and
Yeah. Yes.
But I like a more controlled treatment.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we find that around a 5-watt bulb sitting 5 feet, we want gentle light stimulation.
Oh, okay.
If you do
Okay.
go outside on a bright sunny day, it could be overwhelming to your eyes. It may be too much in terms of the treatment. So I do like the
The bulb.
5-watt light bulb sitting about
Get
5
that
feet.
anyplace? I can get it in a drugstore, grocery store, 5 watts.
Yeah, you should be able to get a 5-watt. I think it's the light bulb that's inside your refrigerator, that size.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, the way we came up with that, there's a $2,000 instrument called the Syntonizer. It's a device that eye doctors actually use in their office. So what I did was I got a light meter and I measured the intensity of the light that machine delivered. It's not very bright. So I wanted to duplicate that to make it a little bit more affordable.
Okay.
That's why we have the gooseneck lamp with the 5-watt light bulb. I mean, theoretically, you could use a 10-watt light bulb, but you would have to sit twice the distance.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, let's see. Susan, you have your hand up. Hi.
Hi, how are you, Dr. Kondrot?
Oh,
Okay,
pretty good.
I do the light therapy. Is that just for calming down the nervous system, or is it doing anything actually for regenerating parts of the eye?
It's actually doing parts to regenerate the eye too. It was interesting, some of you were doing laser light. In fact, this afternoon at the Vision event, Garrett Mirren's going to be talking about the Delta laser, which I think is a remarkable instrument. And it delivers a red infrared laser. When you do the red infrared laser, you close the eye because the laser has a deeper penetration. When you're doing the syntonic light therapy, it's not a laser light, it's non-coherent light from a light bulb, and it actually goes into your eye. Now, it's interesting, most people feel that the laser is much more powerful. And it is. It's more powerful. It goes deeper into the body. But there was a Russian investigator, Dr. Tina Karu, who wanted to see if there's any difference between laser and non-coherent light, the syntonic light, when it goes into the eye. And she determined there's absolutely no difference because a photon is a photon, whether it's delivered with a laser or whether it's delivered with a non-coherent light, like looking at a light bulb. So the only difference is the laser has more intensity and it penetrates deeper into the tissue. That's why you can do a laser light on your muscle and it'll go into your bone or muscle. And when you do a laser on your eye, you close the eye and the light will go deeper into the eye. But in terms of the actual effect, so don't underestimate the syntonic light therapy. It can have a profound effect.
A follow-up on that in this lady's question. With this laser, it is the red. It's not the variegated colors. How does that compare? Because when your eyes open, you have a possibility of purple, green, blue, and whatnot. The laser is simply the red. What's the difference in terms of effectiveness?
There's no difference. The red infrared light, a photon's a photon.
So
and the studies have shown that the photon stimulates the electron transport chain in the body. I talked about the hemoglobin molecule.
right.
So
if I were to do the light therapy, but with amber or red lenses, in terms of the eye regeneration, that would work.
no, not really, because we want to get a particular color of light going in. It also has a physiological effect. So you have the blue spectrum and the red spectrum. The blue is a calming side. It's the parasympathetic. The red is putting more energy in. So depending on what your issue is, like for example, if you have wet macular degeneration, we want to have more towards the blue spectrum. If you have dry macular degeneration or glaucoma, we want to put more energy in to help stimulate regeneration or putting more life into the eye.
Okay.
So you have to be careful depending on what wavelength of light or what color of light, depending on your eye condition.
Well, that's interesting because I have the dry and I have glaucoma, and my lenses are blue-green. So maybe I should go to something a little different hue or something like that.
Yeah, I'd have to review your records because sometimes we want to start you on blue-green if you have a lot of pain or it's been an acute problem or a sudden change or some emotional stress.
Okay.
So that's why we just don't randomly give you a pair of glasses. We're looking at, and sometimes you get blue and red and we alternate one day.
Okay.
So I'd have to take a look at your
Okay.
records and we may want to, make some changes.
So I just send a note to Chris to set something up. Is that what I should do?
May want to set up some time to talk to you personally and review everything.
Okay.
Okay. Wow, I can't believe it. All these questions on light therapy.
Exactly.
Linda,
I looked at all my glasses I've accumulated over the years. How many years? Many years. Okay, I've got mu epsilon, which is the blue-green,
Right.
right? Okay, I've got mu delta. What is that? Is that the
That's
indigo?
more towards the red spectrum.
The red spectrum. I know I have indigo, but I can't, it isn't labeled, maybe. I'll work on that.
That could be epsilon omega.
Ah, oh, okay, I'll work on that. So I do have my instructions that came with it. So you know how many years ago I have had these. Wear your color therapy glasses in natural light. That was back then. You can sit in front of a window.
That was
re-
before light bulbs were on the market.
Yeah, okay. So see how many, I mean, these glasses are like falling apart, some of them. Are they still made like this?
Yep, they're still made like that. They're made by a Belgium company, and we duplicated the exact color that's in the $2,000 machine, the certain filter.
Okay. Now, with this one right here, I don't know if this is the indigo. It doesn't say.
So that's a pair of glasses we no longer use.
Okay, should I throw them away?
Yeah, I would throw them away because initially we were looking, that was before I found out about the Belgium company in Europe that makes
Okay.
the exact,
Everybody's on light color.
duplicates the frequency and color.
This one too, throw away?
Yeah, those are, yeah, we stopped using those about 20 years ago.
No problem. Okay, but I know I had an indigo. Well, this is the same one that before. There are two of them like
Yeah,
that.
I'd
Throw
be
away.
careful with those because they really don't have the principles of the syntonic light therapy.
Here's another pair. That's darker still.
Mm.
So I've got 4 pairs like that. And I can't find.
You could probably open up your own optical shop and sell some of those. Make
Sure.
some money on eBay, but I don't want you to use them anymore.
So I don't have an indigo pair. I did have because it says on my instructions, use the indigo for 5 minutes. So I'm gonna call Chris and have her send me a pair of indigos.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Well, we recommend you use the indigo first,
I know.
5 to 10 minutes, followed by the mu epsilon.
Yeah, and then that says 15 minutes from the mu epsilon.
Hmm.
So I can call and get the indigo pair.
Yeah, talk to Chris about that.
I wonder what happened to mine. Okay, thank you. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Hey, Ben, how are you? You have a question?
Yeah, just I've been following the Dr. Bates sunning, long arm
Mhm.
swinging, and palming. As far as the sunning goes, is that more akin to like you were talking about? Is that closer to like the laser therapy where the light is going through your eyelids?
I recommend that you do the sunning in the morning or the evening
Yeah,
when you have the red intensity. It's the red infrared.
right.
So
Yeah, I
it's
tried
kind
to-
of like it's like a poor man's laser therapy. You close your eyes and turn your head back and forth and let the image of the sun go across your retina.
Yeah, I've been trying to do it when I get up and certainly before at least like 9 o'clock. And I try to do it late in the afternoon, like at around 4 o'clock or later this time of year. The sun's getting pretty low. So, but I find it very, to me, it seems very calming, especially having the sun on your face and just that nice glow in your through your eyelids. I find it very calming.
Yeah,
So-
well, Dr. Bates was right. That you want
Hopefully,
to make sure it's the red spectrum.
yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that comment. Susan, your hand's up. Do you have another question or?
Yes, back to the light therapy. I have green. What is the significance? I only have the green of the green. What is it doing for the body?
Tell me what's wrong with you.
Because
Well,
I have red.
green is the balance when you're when you're in the green spectrum, your autonomic nervous system is in perfect balance, green. But usually we don't use the green light to treat people because no one is ever in perfect balance. You're either one side or the other, or you go back and forth. It's pretty hard to, maintain yourself in that
Right.
green state. How old are those glasses?
I just got them from you last year.
You sure it's green? Or is it?
It's green. I mean,
No,
when I look
what's
at
the
light,
label? It may
green.
look green, but it could be a slight red green or a blue green.
Okay, wait, Bob's getting them because I can't read them.
Yeah, because I never give people green.
Well,
It's either blue green or red green.
well, I did a webinar. This was like with holistic. The woman did everything about color and lights. Believe it or not, now the green is the new red. It's as powerful as the red. She's a scientist, and they were doing all these experiments. So I'm like, hey, all right.
Well, that's new to me.
Yeah, that
you
was
know,
just
that
on,
goes against all of my education and
right.
training.
Now they're finding out the green does the balancing, but they said it's as powerful now as the red.
Where are they?
Here, no, wait, hang on.
Well, I follow the studies of syntonic light, and that's over 100-year organization of eye doctors that have utilized light and have monitored the effects. So I don't know about the green is the new red or red's the new green. I would be careful with that. They probably prescribe the green to you.
Yeah, because what I was learning, the green now is like as powerful as the red, where before they dismissed it, but now they're doing more tests on it.
This
But
is
it
what
is
she has.
for balance.
I don't know if that helps you at all.
What does it say on there?
On the back, on the side here,
Well, there should be a Greek letters on the front.
MU, and then UPSILON.
Yeah, that's mu epsilon. That is not green. That is a green blue.
Oh, see, I just see green.
No,
You
but it is actually a bluish tint.
Oh, okay.
So that's to quiet your autonomic nervous system.
Is it helping the retina though to regenerate?
What is your retinal condition?
I have retinal degeneration.
You have wet or dry?
The right eye has the wet and the left eye has the dry.
Yeah, well, the mu epsilon is to quiet the retina because you have a tendency to the wet. The wet is the more inflammation. The dry is the, it's losing energy. It has no life into it. It's turning into scar tissue, the dry. So the mu epsilon, the bluish, is to quiet the retina, to reduce that inflammation.
Would any of the light colors help regenerate like the stem cells in the retina?
That's interesting because eye doctors, or not eye doctors, all doctors are trying to find out ways to stimulate stem cells. And they looked at all different modalities. And there's so much junk on the market now. You can spend $100 for some vitamins to stimulate stem cells, but the most effective way to stimulate stem cells is with light therapy, believe it or not.
Wow.
But what color?
Well, that depends on your state. A photon is a photon.
Right.
But on the other hand, the other thing is simple exercise will stimulate your stem cells. Meditation will stimulate your stem cells. There's so much crap out there in terms of special nutritional products that do all this stuff. And people are wasting their money on a lot of these products.
Well, in her case, what colors would you recommend?
Well, you're using the mu epsilon, correct?
Right. Yeah. That's the
And
only
when I
one.
reviewed your records and looked at your eye pathology, that's the color that we decided.
Okay,
So that will not only help quiet the retinal inflammation, but it should have some effect on the stem cells and regeneration. And of course, along with the microcurrent.
okay, okay, while we're talking about that, where do I put that? Because I'm using the pads. I'm not using the gloves, so you only get like 2 pads.
Yeah.
You're 4.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He's not on.
Yes, he is. Go ahead, just
Oh,
talk.
I have one on the middle of my forehead, and I'll put one below my occipital.
No.
That, works on the optic nerve path
Is that for the brain and sensory, or is that for the eye?
for the eye.
Well, we don't recommend putting the pad on your forehead for the eye treatment. It may have some effect, but we want the microcurrent to be directly over the eyes. That's why we recommend a washcloth.
Oh, okay.
The maximum effect with the microcurrent will occur if you draw an imaginary line from A to B when we want it to go through your eyes.
Uh-huh.
You may get some effect, but you're not getting the maximum effect.
Because when I put it where I was putting it, I could feel it working on the eyes.
Well, like I said, you'll get some effect. We want to get the
Yeah.
maximum effect.
Okay.
So the glove goes over her entire forehead, or can she just put a pad in the center? Which way do you recommend?
Well, I don't like to use the pads for the eyes.
Oh,
You get the glove and you wrap it in a washcloth. I think you have those instructions. You place it over the eyes, close your eyes, and then one on the back of your neck.
okay.
Okay, Ann, we have your,
Two questions, one related to the microcurrent. I found that when I was doing the microcurrent, and it still happens with the washcloths, I was getting very cold. So I used just the washcloths for my eyes and forehead, and then I switched to the pads. But I ordered pads that Chris told me to order, so it's 2 sets. And is that correct? Because after listening to this lady, I'm a little bit confused. I've been using 1 set, let's say, for peripheral neuropathy, 1 set on one foot and 1 set on the other. Is that the correct way to do it?
well, the pads now, Ning has a special attachment where you only need 2 pads.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see. There's a connector where 2 wires go in.
Oh,
It goes to 1 pad. Before he had this special connector, you had to have 4 pads.
well, when I talked to Chris
It's a
about it,
piggyback.
yeah, I didn't. Okay, Chris
Piggyback's 1 pad.
didn't send me that. She sent me a set of 2 wires, right?
Yeah, I can go get it if you want.
Yeah, would you please? So the other thing is my body gets very cold, and I'll almost get chilled with the microcurrent. Not necessarily just on my eyes, but after I've done the 5 protocols.
Battery.
Well, you're doing 5 protocols at once.
Yes.
That may be too much. You don't need to do all 5 protocols every day. The eye program is the one I want you to do every day. The second most effective is probably the brain and sensory. The third is the stress.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean you have to do all 3 every day. You may be putting too much into your body. And then it's certainly all right to put the washcloths into hot water too.
Yeah.
Keep
I thought it
yourself
was
warm.
because it was winter time, cold in winter here.
I
But
hope you're doing it inside, not outside.
yes, I was, and that's what I wrote to Chris. I said, I keep the house at 72, and I'm still, once I go through the protocols, I'm ending up putting on a sweater and something over the sweater.
Yeah, well, you may be doing too much in the way of microcurrent.
Okay. So
Yeah,
let
you
me
don't-
just show you. Is this what you're talking about? That's what Chris sent me. This is
Yeah,
what-
that's a single, that's a single.
that's what I
So-
got from the office.
You have to double up.
Yeah. I have a red and yellow and blue.
Yeah, you put them together to
Okay,
make it one.
so does Chris have that? Can she? I
No,
just said,
you probably have it. See, right now, I have a blue. I have a blue and I have a green.
yeah,
See?
okay,
I could have it two pads, but if I piggyback it, then it goes to one pad.
okay,
See, I put the blue and green in, so I just have one pad.
Right there.
okay.
Go to our go to the site. I have a YouTube video. You're familiar with how to get to the programs? Maybe I
Yeah.
should do that again. Do you know how to get there?
Yeah.
Go to
Yes.
Kondrot YouTube
Yeah,
and you'll see a special playlist for the home program.
right, I
Does
have,
everybody
I
know?
subscribe.
Yeah, and then I have a YouTube video on using the pads.
Okay. The second question I had was about the ozone machine. I've been using it to make drops. I've also been using it to put in from my filtered water. I make some and drink it. I'm noticing there's an odor that comes like almost fresh air.
That's
When
the
the
ozone.
machine's
You're
done?
smelling ozone.
Okay, well, the other family members are complaining about it. That my daughter said it makes her high.
Well, she
So,
probably is getting energy into her. The odor
Yeah.
is, after a lightning storm, that
Right.
smell that you have, that clean smell, it's a wonderful smell.
Yeah.
That's the ozone.
yeah. So I think your video says to put a face cloth over while it's working.
Yeah,
Uh,
because that may eliminate the odor
Okay,
and
but that's normal.
keep your family happy. Otherwise, everyone will be moving out of the home. You'll be all alone.
Right. All right, well, thank you. Those are the two questions I
Okay,
had.
thank you. Okay, we have the Zoom lady with the blue cap. I don't see your
Hi.
name.
Vivian.
Hi, Vivian.
Hi. Do any of the light therapies help cataracts?
Yep,
Good question.
we like the Mu Delta.
Mu Delta.
It's a
And
little bit more towards the reddish spectrum because the cataract is kind of like an aging. The lens is drying up. We want to remove some of the toxins. And the Mu
So-
Delta is very effective for removing toxins.
can I order that from Chris?
Yeah,
Okay. I'll try that. I have another question.
so
not
what
related-
color therapy are you taking now?
I don't have any color therapy right now. Would early morning closed eye sun gazing help the cataracts?
Yeah,
Or what
because you're
about
using the red infrared.
what about sunset?
Yeah, well, the red spectrum, sunrise or sunset, you have the
Okay.
red spectrum on the horizon. That's what you want. You want the red infrared light.
And is there a time frame? How long should you do it?
I would say 10 minutes or so.
Okay, well, I'll add that to my microcurrent program. I have another question not related to vision. I have a friend in Arizona, near Mesa, Arizona, just moved there, has all kinds of medical things going on, head injury and insulin for diabetes, and she needs to find a good physician in Mesa. And I just wondered if you might be able to recommend anyone in that area.
Yeah, I would contact, there's the Arizona Homeopathic and Integrative Medical Association. I used to be president of that group. And these are all alternative doctors that practice homeopathy. And they do have a website you can go to.
Okay,
Arizona Homeopathic and Integrative Medicine.
thank you.
They're a great group.
Thank you.
Camilla, hi.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah,
Your first
my
time.
no, this is second, actually. I was on the last time. But my question is, what on an eye exam, what do the angles mean? And when do those angles get to a point that it warrants surgery? What is the number?
Well, it's not a real number because doctors have different ways of grading the angles. But what we're talking about, there's some cases of glaucoma that are called angle closure glaucoma.
Yeah.
That the eye is too small and the fluid is not able to flow out of the eye. And typically that is in farsighted people or individuals who begin to develop a cataract. The cataract gets fat and it pushes on the front part of the eye, and that can cause a type of glaucoma. There's a simple laser procedure where they make a tiny hole to prevent that attack of glaucoma. And I'm against most surgery, but this is kind of a structural problem. It's a simple operation. I joke that a mediocre eye surgeon having a bad day, you'll still get good results. So it's one of the simplest operations. But on the other hand, if you have an attack of glaucoma, you could go blind within five to 6 hours with a severe attack. So we always look at risk benefit, low risk, high benefit.
Yeah, because a friend of mine said that her eye doctor had said that hers was at a 17.2.
That I don't know. It sounds more
Yeah.
like a pressure, a 17.
Yeah, I think it is a pressure issue more than, okay.
Usually doctors talk about narrow angles or they use the word occludable, that the angles look like they're occludable.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That, always look at the risk benefit. And
Yeah.
the risk is very, very low. The benefit is high.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
can
yeah.
remember years ago when I first went into practice, this was like 40 years ago, I examined this little old nun who had narrow angles, and I didn't want to subject her to the laser surgery. And I said, "Sister, be careful. If you start to get some eye pain, give me a call and come right in." And lo and behold, a day later, she went blind with an angle closure attack. And I had a lot of guilt that I didn't treat her at that point.
Yeah.
So sometimes, this is one procedure that I think is indicated in many cases.
Yeah, I haven't received my therapy yet, so I'm still waiting.
Okay, well, keep us posted, and thanks for being part of the group here.
Okay.
Jane, how are you? Oh, you got to unmute yourself.
I had to mute myself because the dogs were barking. Okay, I had a problem that I wanted to run by you. Excuse me. Thursday night, I was doing the eye protocol just before bed, and when I finished it, I was putting my away, and I got this terrible pain in my left leg. And it was so severe. It was the worst pain I have ever had in my life. It was like worse than childbirth pain. It was just awful. And I was like crying and screaming. And, my husband gave me some Tylenol, a couple of Tylenols, and and I chewed a 30 or 81 milligram aspirin. And, we just waited until it subsided somewhat. And then I was just terrified because I didn't know where the pain was coming from or why I was having this pain. I couldn't stand. I couldn't put any weight. I couldn't do anything. And finally, the pain subsided a little bit from the, the painkillers kicked in. And so I decided to try the protocol for inflammation, and I put that on my leg, and I did that protocol. And then when it was finished, it was still like aching and throbbing, but at least it was bearable. And I was able to get some sleep then that night. And in the morning, it's gone and it's fine. Have you any idea what happened?
Well, the leg cramps, and I occasionally have leg cramps at night myself. Really
It wasn't
severe.
a cramp. My husband, he said, is that a cramp? And I said, no, it's not a cramp. It's not the
Mhm.
same as a cramp. It feels like nerves or, something like that. So I
Well,
don't know.
you probably should get it evaluated by a medical doctor.
Yeah.
But I think we do have a neuropathy program if it is the nerve.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But
So I could,
one thing to look at is, keep yourself well hydrated. The problem
yes.
is going to
Yeah,
bed
and
at
when-
night
when
dehydrated.
when this was going on, I kept asking my husband for water. So maybe I was really dehydrated or something. Would that cause that?
Yeah, but I'm not sure the difference in symptoms between a neuropathy and a leg cramp. They can be very similar with the pain.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I've been having some like muscle cramp pain in the front of my leg, which is unusual. I usually get it in the calf, right? But this lately I've had it the odd time in the front of the lower leg. This was in the upper leg, and there was no hardness of muscle or anything going on when it was happening. It was just the worst pain I have ever had. Like when
Yeah,
they
you
say,
need to-
is your
you
pain
need to
from 1 to
get,
10?
you-
It was a 10. Yeah.
You need to get evaluated. Could be a circulation, could be a neuropathy.
Okay. It's fine now. It went away. So
Wow.
Keep yourself well hydrated, and the inflammation program or the neuropathy program can. Those are the two that help me when I occasionally get a leg cramp. I like the.
okay. All right. Well, I'll look into it then, get an appointment from somewhere. The other thing was when you were talking about the pads and those connectors, sometimes I can't get it. Like I'll get a bad connection, at the top of the machine, and so then I'll try to figure out why I'm getting a bad connection. And usually it's when I have them plugged in, like one to the other, and like just using one pad. I don't know whether maybe my pads are not good pads or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, the pads have a certain life expectancy, and you probably have to replace them.
Yeah, well, I'd only used these ones maybe twice, and and already
They should
were-
last a lot longer. In fact, I've been
Yeah,
using my pads close to a month, and they still work.
yeah.
Just,
Okay.
can I make a comment? Sometimes I
Yeah.
put a drop or two of water on my pad, and that makes a difference with the machine not beeping.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, I'll try that. Thank you. Yeah.
A good suggestion, Ann.
Yeah.
Elson.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Question for you. I got the leads, but I don't have the pads. Where do I get the pads for the micronutrient or micro shocker?
Oh, you can go on to Amazon, and they're very inexpensive. They're called the electric pads, and you can buy. They're very, very inexpensive. I think Chris sends everybody a link.
Yeah.
Ask Chris, she'll send you a link.
Might have gone to my junk folder. I didn't get that one.
Yeah.
It looked like there's several
Trey, go-
different connections. So I wasn't sure. I did go on Amazon, but I didn't really see anything that looked like it would hook up. Is there anything special about these?
Not really. They're just generic pads. I think mine are like maybe 2 inches by 2 inches. These are the pads that I use. I tape them on the back of my microcurrent machine. See?
Yeah, that's exactly what you get from Amazon. What I
Yeah.
got from Amazon.
Let me see if I have a label. Got about 20 or 30 of them. This is the package right here. But I don't have a name on it.
I can't find the
Chris,
name of mine.
Chris will send you the link.
Thank you.
Okay. Trago, do you have a question?
Yes, a couple of questions. The first thing is, I want to thank you for your email. It saved me a lot of money. Secondly, I had a.
Oh, you
eye-
haven't gotten your bill yet.
Oh, that's right. Okay. The second thing is that I got an eye exam a couple of weeks ago, and I sent it to Chris, and Chris said, "Is that just for the file?" And I said, "Yes, but do you look at that? Will you be looking at
Yeah.
that?" Okay,
I
good.
usually glance at it, and if there's something, a problem or urgent, I'll get back to you, but I usually don't call patients up after every time they send me
Okay.
a record.
Okay. Thirdly is that I'm on my third homeopathic remedy, and you said to talk to you about that after a couple of months. So I'm just bringing it up.
Yeah, you'd probably want to talk to Chris and we can schedule a time.
Okay, good. Thank you. That's it then.
Okay. Let's see. I think Marie, is your hand up?
Yes, it is. I'm gonna have to leave shortly. I have had a busy season, so I've only been able to do the Ocufolin with the spray, the microcurrent, and I started the light therapy, but then I stopped it and I'll contact Chris. Is there any downside to my not having started up everything immediately, or can I just go ahead with what I'm doing, and as I am able, I'll add on the lachesis and the heavy metal and do all that other
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah, you can start with one or two items and add it, because there's a time factor with all these things, but I think probably the two most important treatments are your eye treatment and the homeopathic remedy. They're the two most important.
Okay. And when you say the homeopathic remedy, you're meaning the
The
what?
lachesis or the lachesis, that's the one that you got. It's the
Okay.
bottle that you put a couple drops in.
All right. Okay. Well,
I just put the link to Amazon that Chris sent me in the chat
Okay, good. Does everybody see the chat?
for the pads.
You go to the bottom, there's a little hamburger, and you can see there's three dots. You click it, then you click chat. And put the link in. You can copy and paste it. So there are 24-piece tens unit replacement pad, 2 by 2 inches.
thank you. Fine.
Right.
And it has a 2 millimeter pin. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'm going to send everybody a copy of the recording, and I'll put the link in the recording.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you'll get that maybe in later today, or definitely Sunday. I'll put the link in for you. Okay. Let me see. I'm copying the link now, because when I close Zoom, I'll lose it. I'm putting it here. Good. So I have that. I'll send it to you. Then if there's anything else you want me to include in the email, let me know. Camilla, you have a...
Yeah, on my last appointment with you, you told me to stop all of my homeopathic remedies I was on for chronic issues.
Yeah,
But
you were taking quite a few, if I recall.
yeah, last weekend I had an ear infection. And so rather than going to get an antibiotic, which I avoid like the plague, I took a couple of homeopathic remedies to clear up the ear infection. So Chris said then I would probably need to push my next appointment with you out a few weeks just to clear that out.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, when you stop homeopathic treatment or when you start it, the body heals from inside outward. Now, the ear infection may have been just a symptom leaving your body that may not have been necessary to treat.
And that's
So
what
if you do get an ear infection or, a mild cold or fever, just let the body go. It may pass in a day or two. You don't have to treat everything because sometimes you're not giving the body a chance to heal. Every time you get a rash, you put cream on, or you get diarrhea, you take something. You want the body to process itself.
you're suppressing it.
You're
Yeah.
suppressing, you're pushing it back in.
I only took those remedies for like maybe 3 days. So how long would it take then for that to leave or get out of my body before I do make the next appointment?
Well, you were taking so many homeopathic remedies. In fact, if I remember, it was like 10 or so different high potency remedies.
Yeah.
And it's going to take at least a week or maybe longer for everything to get out of your body. And right now, your body is establishing an equilibrium or balance. So if
Yeah.
you do get a minor symptom, don't run to take a homeopathic remedy. Let the body process itself. Now, it's
Okay.
different if it lasts 3 or 4 days and it's getting worse, then you need treatment. But a lot of times it'll just be a slight passing, some mild symptoms, and then you'll be back to normal.
Well, this ear, it was like the whole ear canal was swollen. I couldn't hardly I was putting garlic oil in there, and I couldn't hardly get the tip of the thing in to put, and then I'd have to work it in with my finger, and it was hot. It felt hot, and it felt like somebody was stabbing the eardrum with an ice pick.
Oh.
So that's the reason I did start treating it, was because it was so painful.
Well, keep me posted, and we got to wait for everything to clear before I take your case.
Okay. But when I receive the microcurrent and the syntonic light and that I should go ahead and start that, right?
Yeah, because that works on a different energy system.
Okay.
You can begin that immediately. In fact, if you do get an ear infection, you may want to try the inflammation protocol. The inflammation protocol microcurrent is good for all inflammation.
Try my infrared light that I have on it. So, okay.
Yeah, I prefer that you do the infrared light or microcurrent than to a homeopathic remedy.
Okay. All right.
Okay, good. All right, Elaine, see your
Just a
hand up.
quick question. I have a sensitivity to synthetic heat, so I'm using infrared heaters. Would it be okay to look at those heaters because they reflect this bright orange red?
Yeah, because that probably has some red infrared light. I mean,
So,
close your eyes and look at it.
and how long would I use that at a time?
Well, I'd use it maybe for 5-10 minutes, but because your body's so sensitive, you want to make sure you listen to your body.
And the other question is, when you're cupping your eyes, do you keep your eyes open and closed?
You mean when you're doing palming?
Palming, yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely keep your eyes closed.
Okay. Thank you.
Dr. Bates felt that you want to see total black. You want to see total darkness.
Okay.
So
And that's for like 10 minutes or?
10 to 15 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
And when you do it, you want to make sure that you're resting, your shoulders are on a table or something, and deep breathing, positive affirmations, prayer. You want your body to relax, but can be very effective at helping, regenerate your eye and help healing.
Yeah, they do feel better afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Good. Good. Okay, we're coming at the end of the hour here, and I hope everybody, I got to get ready for the vision event that starts at noon. We have 2 good speakers. Going to learn about convergence insufficiency. For those of you that haven't heard of it, it's a fairly common problem that many of us have, and we don't know it. So if those of you that are not going to watch the vision event, we can maybe talk about convergence insufficiency at our next meeting or another topic. Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good
Bye.
week.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.